This week on Country Music Junkies, we have a new artist to introduce you to. We have Texas native Scott Dean on the phone. Scott, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, we're really pleased to be chatting with you. You're a Texas native. You are very big in the Texas country scene. So let's start from the beginning in terms of your music career and how things kind of began for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, lived in different places in Texas, got into music years and years ago. Have had kind of a music career going on for about a decade now, and kind of did Americana rock and roll kind of style of music for about 10 years. My name is Scott McCurry, or Scott Dean McCurry. Had a band called Scott McCurry and the Mercenaries, where we kind of play like a mixture, like I said, Americana, some rock and roll stuff. But I've always had a big passion for 70s and 60s honky tonk and kind of that style of country music. And back when I was in college, I listened to the Byrds, Sweetheart of the Rodeo, and all the Grant Parsons, stuff like that. So I knew at that point that I at one point wanted to at some time get into the country music. We've always played side by side with a lot of the Texas country artists and known a lot of the guys that have done that. So about 2.5, 3 years ago, we kind of just took the leap, and I changed my name from Scott McCurry to Scott Dean, because Scotty McCreery was an American Idol winner,
right.
And we'd play shows, and everyone thought that was me.
Oh.
And so it got to be quite confusing with the fans and playing shows, and Scotty
right.
McCreery and Scott McCurry sounds pretty much identical off the tongue. So
Absolutely.
I was like, I can't do that. So we kind of tossed with some names. The joke was for a while it was going to be called Billy Horsewagon, but that was just kind of the fun name, and I was like, I can't do that. So
no.
my middle name is Dean. So my middle name is Dean, and I was like, that sounds like a good country name. And I had a lot of family from West Texas when I was growing up, and so they all called me Scott Dean, and so it already had a familiar ring to it. And so I chose to go with Scott Dean and kind of did a transformation of my music and my name, and haven't really looked back since, and having a heck of a time playing country music and traveling around Texas and Oklahoma and playing shows everywhere and radio tours everywhere, and having a great time doing it.
There you go. Well, I love the passion in your voice when you talk about this. Obviously, this has been a lifestyle for you for quite a long time. What was, the trigger moment back a decade ago when you decided that you wanted to make music your career?
I knew it pretty much after I graduated from high school. It was something that I always wanted to do, and then after kind of college, it took we had a lot of things kind of going on, and decided to do it full time. And like I said, we did we were kind of doing more of an Americana thing back then, but when we did the country thing, it just all kind of just started coming together, and there's such a huge market, a huge scene for. I guess you call it Texas country down here. That it's just been the transition into it. It's just been absolutely awesome. The fans are great. The people, everyone in the business is just awesome. So it's been a very easy transition.
Well, that's great. Now let's talk about your Texas country album. It's a full-length album, and your debut full-length album, All Over Again. It was released back in the fall. Tell us about what fans can expect to hear on that album.
Yeah, so it's I'd say about. Out of the 10 tracks, 8 of them are very upbeat, kind of party-centric, honky-tonk, kind of foot-stomping, drive-in music. It's all kind of beer drinking, something you put on a Saturday night, and it's all kind of just like I said, it's all driving. The hippos are all driving, and anybody that likes kind of like the old honky-tonk stuff. There's flare electric guitars, there's pedal steel to wear, there's awesome fiddle playing, a lot of kind of goofing around with some, drunk beers clanging, clicking, and all that kind of stuff. And then we have a couple of one or two songs that kind of a little bit slower, more meaningful, more kind of ballads, if you will. And then we have actually a kind of a bluegrass version of a Christmas song, which is We Three Kings, which is a tribute to a Christmas song. So we had that with Aubrey Lynn England is a girl here from Texas, and we did a duet with her in the studio about 1.5 years ago, and then we put that on the album as well.
If fans want to check you out and listen to All Over Again, how can they do that? Where would you like them to go?
Yeah, so everything is off of Everything is available on the website. It's scottdeancountry.com is the website. All of our music is they can buy it off of the website, or they can go to iTunes or Spotify or any digital distributor that you can find the digital music, or all off the website as well. But it's all available there. So that's just that album. We have a couple. We did an EP about a year before that, and then we added 5 songs to that, and then we put out a full length record. So that's called All Over Again.
Perfect. And if fans want to connect with you on social media, can they do that as well?
Yeah, it's everything is Scott Dean Country. So Twitter, Scott Dean Country, CNTRY. You can like us on Facebook. It's Scott Dean Country. Website is scottdeancountry.com, where you can find all the links for all social media and all that kind of stuff. But everything is online at Scott Dean Country.
Perfect. Well, that sounds great. We look forward to hearing more from you. Fans, be sure to go to scottdeancountry.com to check him out and all of his music, and you can, of course, purchase the album All Over Again on there. Scott, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to staying in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, and we'll definitely shoot you out more music when we do it here shortly, and appreciate your time today.